Come on, boy.
Hey everybody, it's Cawfee Tawk here. Halvanis, Nalagag, Doy, and Danny. Like we start off all our episodes, we already know what Halvanis' sponsor is because he's been plugging it.
I've been
the
wearing
pre-show. Alright, so Halvanis, briefly, what's up with your week and what's going on?
I quit WoW for a total of 8 hours and then came back in the middle of the night.
In a cold sweat. In a cold sweat.
I had the cold sweats. My arms were clammy. My knees weak. Arms were heavy. My mom's spaghetti was on the sweater already. So, no,
These
actually,
weak arms are heavy.
that's what I just said. Yeah.
I missed it. I was going to get something.
Yeah, you missed it.
My seat's all screwy.
Ooh. No, not much has been going on. Of course, I've been doing tons of Yu-Gi-Oh content because that's a thing now.
That's a thing now.
I'm decided today that I'm going to redo a playthrough of South Park and put it all up unedited. I don't care if I get copyright flags or whatever. So, also,
Spirit, stick it to the man.
Copyright flags. Speaking of that, I got copyrighted for free public domain music that is listed as satanic music on YouTube for its auto applying processes there for it.
That's disturbing.
It is disturbing because I looked at it and it's like, what was it? I mentioned them yesterday. It was like,
Dead air.
you've been copyright flagged for. It's like deathcore punk production 1, and then 17 different songs that all have to do with worshiping the devil.
Nice.
So
Way to go, YouTube.
I decided to just when I do the little duel videos for Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever there, I'm just gonna have no.
There's hidden
sound.
meeting in Yu-Gi-Oh. There you
Of course, worship the devil and drink delicious Coors Light. Available at your local pub.
go. All right, Hal.
Go ahead.
Nalagag, anything with you?
Not really that much. I've been recently picking up some old games. Arkham Origins, Portal 2, the
Planning the
Sly King
wedding?
franchise. Actually, no.
Oh, okay.
It's actually called off, Al, if you didn't
Oh,
know.
you got called out. You got called at the wedding. Why?
Just didn't work out. This is how it is.
Oh no. Toray wasn't going to be the best man, was he?
He was.
Sorry, Toray. That was your moment to shine. That would be the single best thing you've done since your YouTube career started.
Attend a wedding.
Hey, I've hosted many in-game weddings.
Yes, you have.
Oh, yeah.
And I do believe we've lost guild members because of this. Like, come on! Come
Hey,
on!
I gotta keep my streak going.
Like we said before, how the domestic disputes.
Yeah, the domestic disputes, it's all coming together.
Alright, so Doy, what's up with you?
What's up with me? There was nothing up for a while, and now I'm doing a Let's Play leveling series with WoW Smurv, which has been a lot of fun. So, episode 3 should be.
There's
check
been
it right
nothing
now.
Up. There's been nothing up for a while, and then he discovered Viagra.
Swing.
Anyway.
Delaware.
Niagara Falls.
No, episode 3 is up right now, and it will continue. And there's several more on the way.
Oh, we've got
I'm liking
any
that.
sponsors between you two? I forgot.
He's sponsored by the New York Rangers.
Hell yeah, I am. Pittsburgh Penguins going down tonight.
I don't like either of them. Oh, God! Oh, my God.
Alright, Danny.
Nothing much here. Popped up a couple of videos. My latest weight loss video is in the pipe. I just got to upload it. Lost another 2.5 pounds,
Nice.
which
Good job.
really made me happy because I was worried about stress in my current situation. So,
You'll be alright, Dan.
but,
And you want to tell the folks at home what the secret was?
Yeah, whatever, Al.
Delicious Coors Light.
Yeah, whatever. My
Obviously.
sponsor is Happy Socks, because you can always use Happy Socks.
As opposed to unhappy socks, which are
Exactly.
terrible for your feet.
I found these at Nordstrom's. They were purple, and I was like, okay, must have. Because
Epic.
I could
So
use
you've
some
gotta
socks.
you've
that
gotta make a complete set of purple items and wear it on the podcast one
Yeah.
day.
So it looks like you're
I could do that already, Hal.
Face paint too.
Face paint, and then you gotta have purple tape for your
Green
earphones.
I'm already there. I mean, my
Oh no.
purple shorts
Eat
already.
Bacon.
Yeah, exercise for bacon.
Yes.
That's funny.
Exercise bacon.
Anyway, me, I'm getting back on the diet kick again. I don't know.
Good. We all
I
should.
don't know with you guys, but I know that every night before I go to sleep, I'm like, damn it. Tomorrow I'm starting my diet, because that's what you start thinking before you go to sleep. Like, tomorrow I'm
Right.
going my diet. I'm not gonna eat anything bad. And then the next day comes and you're like, okay, here's this burger.
I think right before I go to bed, man, I am starving. I could totally eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with 2 pieces of pizza on either side
Yeah.
and some ice cream.
And then
a
it falls
naked
asleep.
chick. And a naked chick just for sport.
Yeah, just to spice it up a little.
Back on my water kick. I've been off of it for about 4 months, drinking soda.
I have
You've been off the juice?
I've been off the juice.
I've been hitting the water
So-
hard too. Big 8 water.
I really
Bill-
don't like the
supermarket.
Sani. I like Poland Springs. I have one of those big
Yeah.
jugs that the delivery guys come with.
So you don't like your water with no flavor, you like it with no flavor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And video-wise, nothing really, just Coffee Talk. And
What a surprise.
I still have another Coffee Talk from last week that I'm going to upload tonight. And this one I'm probably going to upload on Sunday. And my sponsor is These Nuts. These Nuts. Love them in your mouth. You love when these nuts are in your mouth.
Put them in your mouth and suck them.
I was just thinking, doo.
It's chocolate salty bar.
So,
I
actually...
want to make love to you.
Alright guys, so
Black and salty.
this conversation is this week's Coffee Talk. It's kind of like, it's a little bit about video games, but I've been ranting and raving for the past week about what happened. If no one knows, LucasArts basically said that anything that happened in KOTOR 2, Force Unleashed, and many of the novels never happened.
Non-canon.
Non-canon.
It happen.
Stop saying that.
It's just
That's
non-canon.
how I'm taking it.
I will cut you.
You gonna cut me? Huh?
To me, it's saying it never happened.
It's no longer considered canon lore, which is
Exactly.
bullshit.
In other words, it's never happened. Break it down. If you want to put it down, never happened. And it pisses me off because I love KOTOR. Force Unleashed, if no one's ever played it, was an amazing game.
Yeah, I had it for Xbox.
It was, and Force Unleashed
It's
2
good.
was really good. It was a little short, but it was really
I have
good.
both of them. I have
That's
both
what she
of them.
said.
Actually, I think I own both KOTOR 1 and 2 and Force Unleashed 1 and 2.
I have KOTOR 1 and 2. So
I have the Ultimate Sith Edition, though, so I don't care if it's canon or not. I'm still killing people.
So, basically, all of us here play SWTOR. Our characters aren't real. Well, we know they're not real, but, why play a game if your character's not in the world, really?
Don't say that.
You're not making an
Wagging
impact.
like
I mean, the reason why we play SWTOR is we immerse ourselves in the Star Wars universe, and we become that person, and with hopes that we're gonna make a difference in the world.
Right, and we're all Sith, so it's
And
terrible.
we're all Sith, yeah.
Really, we shouldn't have any impact on the world because we're doing terrible things.
One day we'll
Hey,
be
I like them
acknowledged as one of those grand Sith lords.
Hey, I just want to see the world burn.
Can I say something? Why is every Sith Lord some old, crippled up has-been and not some young stud?
Ooh,
Hmm?
You
weird.
just
with
want to
it.
be a hot babe, Al.
I just want to be
Cal
a
just
hot
wants to be
babe
a
and
hot
watch the
babe.
world burn.
That's some
with
pot
my-
talk there. That's some
Maul was
serious
kind of
pot
young,
talk.
even though he was just a quote apprentice.
Well, seriously though, it's always it's Palpatine or one of his 1,700 clones that are in the fucking universe.
See, but in the Star Wars universe, most Sith Lords don't make it to be old.
Yeah, they get killed before
They
they're
get
old.
killed by their apprentice.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the way it goes. So Palpatine must have been some really strong mofo for no one
Yeah,
to
he was.
mess
That
with.
was the
He
whole
got
point.
killed by an inexperienced guy and his apprentice throwing him down a mine shaft.
No!
Oh
Do
my
not
god!
want.
Oh my god, yes!
No.
No!
Dude, it's so gross. I hate when he does that. Like he's chewing on his tongue while he says.
you'll die.
Gross.
But even then, Palpatine was killed by Vader, which was his apprentice.
What? That was his apprentice. I just realized
Yeah.
that.
So
It's like-
every
Luke took all the credit for that. He's an
Yeah.
asshole.
Didn't do
he
anything.
he's in a
Sit there
fetal
getting
position.
zapped.
Go away, Vader. I mean, Cage.
Oh my god.
He knew we were talking about him.
Yeah, he's like,
No, this is Cage.
Oh,
"Hey,
okay.
oh shit. Don't you be saying shit, Poppy. Don't you do it.
So yeah, every single one has been killed. Salem.
What are you doing with that dog?
He's very vocal.
What?
Who did
Unless
that?
it's gonna start singing, put it down.
So yeah. So what are your thoughts? Everybody's thoughts here, because I know I've been voicing my opinion. Do you think
No.
this is going to be the beginning, or are people going to be pulling that shit and other stuff, other games and other franchises? Hal,
I'm sorry, but it's already happened. It's happened to a bunch of them. Do you realize how many things in WoW lore are considered non-canon now? Because they keep retconning and changing everything.
give us
We
an
were
example.
not. We weren't supposed to be in the Well of Eternity. You understand that? We didn't actually go back in the lore and fight Manaroth or whatever their fucking guy was. We went back solely because we retconned it, saying, yeah, time travel happened, and Nozdorma was like, no, don't do it. That was really about it. And so it's happened in universes before, and it screws things up, but honestly, the extended universe and stuff isn't considered part of the main movies franchise.
Right. Other than if you're going by the movie for the movie's sake, it's obviously it's those 6 movies that are important. But
Those are the
then the
canon
only
movies.
thing they really ever touch back on that means anything to anyone is the Clone Wars. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, which they briefly cover in the second one. Very
And
briefly.
in the third one, you only get minor dialogue about Darth Plagueis, and you never hear anything else about him.
Right. So it really makes no difference whether it's considered canon or not. We already know most of those old stories from playing Knights of the Old Republic and things
You
like
can
that.
consider it canon all you want, but the fact remains is to do a story the way they want to see their story done, and because Lucas doesn't want them touching parts of the extended universe, that's how
He
it's
doesn't
gonna
want
be.
them making a movie or something and
Now-
screwing it up.
Do you think they did that statement because the next movie they're gonna rewrite their own history in the past, like 3,000 years ago?
I think they're gonna put a
Yeah.
different spin on it. I don't think it's gonna be exactly word for word what's actually going through Lucas's mind. I think that they're gonna try to put their own kind of cutesy theme to it, but then again, I can't say anything because they own me. So
That
Whatever.
sounds so many
Technically,
different
they
types
own
of
me
wrong.
too.
and then by extension, they own Delicious Coors Light, available at any pub or brewery near you.
Not for me, Hal.
So gross. Yeah, not for him. What do you drink? Whale's blood?
I have, and it's actually tasty.
He kills leprechauns and
Thought I was
drinks
kidding.
their soul.
So, all right. So what?
But that's my opinion on it. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna change too much.
You know. All right. Now, Gag, your thoughts.
So far, I've been really focus that much. I'm not really that huge of a fan of the Star Wars. I like the movies.
Hold on.
Hey, I'm skinny.
Okay, continue. Sorry about that. The screen froze.
Some people mistake you for fans at some time because you're so skinny and white, but go on.
So
What do you mean?
you're not a
Let's
Star
go
Wars
on.
fan. Are you a Trekkie?
Are you a Trekkie? Yeah.
What the hell is a Trekkie?
Star
Oh god,
Trek.
it's not
We're
that.
good then. We're good.
Okay, we're good. As long as you're not a Trekkie,
You must be a Doctor Who fan.
we would have to kill you.
If you're not a Trekkie, not a Star Warser, you got to be a Doctor Who.
And that's when he goes. Doctor.
I'll watch a couple of episodes, but not that much. Well, yeah, as I said, I'm not a huge of a fan, but still, I think that's a little bit ridiculous and all. Technically, it's not like erasing all the lore that happened in all the video games and the novels.
It's just saying that it's not part of the main story.
Yeah,
Which I thought
Which
was
is-
fairly obvious to begin with, that it wasn't part of the
Of
main
course,
story.
it's not.
Vader's Secret Apprentice? That sounds
like where the hell did that
ridiculous
come
already.
from?
Yeah,
Where
the
did that
game
come
was-
from?
The game was fun, but that's a stupid story.
Sounds like M. Night Shyamalan was making this
That
shit.
was.
You felt like, what twist?
Jeez.
Okay, so I'm looking up right here. Here, famous Darths. These are the ones that are actually going to stay and not. We all know that Darth Vader existed. He was in the movies. Sidious, we knew that he was there.
Right.
Maul was there. Tyrannus, he was in there.
Rob Schneider as well.
He wasn't really a Darth. He was a Count.
They listed him as Darth in here.
Why would they?
You get-
See that? I don't
Okay,
agree with.
Darth Plagueis. Do we think he's going to be... Is he going to be wiped from history?
No.
Can't. He was mentioned in the movie at least once.
He was mentioned. At
That's
least
right,
once.
he was. Even in
Which
the...
one was it? In
It
episode
was
2 by
episode
Obi-Wan?
3.
No,
Oh,
episode
oh.
2 by
When he's
Palpatine.
No,
When he's-
no.
Yes.
He tells the story of Plagueis, yeah, but I
It
could have
was
sworn that.
it was 2 then, because he put the same thing in episode 3 when he's all like, you can save Padme.
Yeah, he has like a flashback or something.
Yeah.
Here he goes. When the Palpatine chats up with Anakin in the Opera House in Revenge of the Sith,
Exactly. The
he
third
relates to the old Sith legend of Darth Plagueis the Wise, who
Right.
prevented his love from dying.
his loves from dying.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm getting my movies.
That's at the opera.
That's
when
what,
he
that's
was
what I'm talking about.
when he
sitting
first
What he's mentioned.
when he first started converting him a little.
Yeah.
When he was planting those seeds of doubt in the Jedi Order.
Yeah, what an a-hole.
That's what he was doing.
Here's another one, Darth Bane.
Darth Bane, yeah.
He's the founder of the Way of the Two, if I remember right.
I'm Bane, that's my name.
No, it's not actually Bane.
Strawberries are back to fiber.
think you're strong in the Force.
Hold on. a
I
sec.
created the Force, molded by the Force.
Jesus.
The Force was part of me before I was even born.
I was created in
Because he is
darkness.
mentioned in this.
We
We
can't,
can't see it because it's dark.
It's dark.
Hold on.
Stop.
The
It's
Sith
gotta be
was-
dark. The hooker's vision is based on...
But
It's gotta be dark and... still.
I know that
Oh.
Book of the Sith. But
Look at the Sith.
Is it okayed by Disney? Because if it's not real.
No, it's not canon. All those spin-offs from
Well-
that series aren't canon.
I,
It never worked.
as far as Bane goes, they can't kill off the story of Bane without trying to find another
Historical figure to take its place.
Yeah.
well, because like
You
I
can't
said,
just
he
erase
create-
everyone, because then it would undo a lot of things.
He created the rule of two, when the Sith Empire was defeated many moons ago, and they just came up. Okay, there's got to be one master, and then there's got to be an apprentice, so that when
Yeah.
the master dies, either by
The
natural
apprentice can take
causes or
over.
by the apprentice
By
doing
the
his
apprentice.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they would have to. If they killed off Bane,
Here we
or
go.
made him, he's not part of the story. They got to explain how the Sith became the two people.
They got to explain
Right.
how the Sith becomes the Sith.
Here we go. One
Oh,
of the
Sith.
one of the most key Siths besides Vader out there, and they're gonna rewrite him out of history. Darth Revan.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
but-
annoying.
But
He is one of the
Wasn't-
most badass Darths ever.
yes, but wasn't only his Jedi side the main focus of like most of those books?
I never read all of them, but kinda it was.
Don't you?
It's
become
kind of like they
Darth
ignored
Revan
all
in
the nasty
KOTOR?
shit that he did.
They ignored a lot of the nasty shit he did, and it was like, oh yeah, he betrayed his master at the last second and threw him
Abandoned
down.
everybody that he
Yeah,
turned on his faith.
A lot of us know Darth Malik from SWTOR.
Yep.
yeah.
He's, if anyone doesn't know what he looks like, I don't know if you could get a good picture of
He looks like Toray if he had a mask on.
Yes, he does. Thank you.
Which one of those tubes do you smell out of?
Where's the trigger?
Sorry.
That reminds me. Sorry, this is off topic, but Cracked had a what if Batman chose a different voice and it was Jerry Seinfeld. I was like, where are all the drugs?
Oh, that was that's Pete Holmes that does that.
Yeah, he's like, where are all the drugs? What's up with that?
The guy's hanging there. He goes, "No, pick that voice. That voice is good. What,
That
what
voice-
voice? I was just clearing my throat. No, do
he-
that one."
Here's another.
Sure.
Here's another Darth that is in there. I can't if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Darth Nihilus.
Nihilus, yeah.
Everyone knows him because he's like the key figure of the second KOTOR.
KOTOR
Yes.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and that's another one.
But did he do anything significant to warrant him being mentioned in a video in one of the movies?
No.
Exactly.
But it's when you think about the movies, there's a very narrow story there. Very, very narrow.
They're focusing on one part.
They don't talk about
chose.
any kind of history, really.
Exactly.
Other
With
than what we mentioned before.
There's a
With
lot
Anakin and
of
Palpatine?
Sith
the
shit.
first three movies, which are actually the last three movies, start off in the middle of the saga.
And if most of you guys didn't know that, there's a big gap between episode 2 and 3. There's like a huge. That's where the Clone Wars took place. So there's many years between that. That's why we have the Clone Wars TV
There's-
show.
The
The cartoon.
There's
TV,
also-
and that series is insane too. Because why would a Jedi apprentice have his own apprentice? It's the same thing.
They're not going to even go into the Ahsoka storyline. At least I don't
That's
think
not
they.
canon either. That whole cartoon series is.
It's not canon. Yeah, exactly. I always wanted to know what happened to Ahsoka, and as far as we know, she's just one
I
of
know.
those people who
know.
escaped 66. What
She-
happened?
She died. And that's one of the things that started pushing him into the dark side. Anakin. She got killed.
So did you explain that? What book? 'Cause
No,
I want to read it.
I don't know the book. Someone was telling me it's in. I don't know exactly the book. Someone was
Because I
telling
don't know
me
about
he
you
broke
guys,
down.
Ahsoka was one of my favorite characters.
I
When
thought she was annoying.
When he first got the apprentice,
Just like their ass.
I was like, oh wow, I never seen his apprentice, and then someone told me that in one of the books she dies, and that's what starts really pushing him to the dark side because that was his first loss.
Oh, is that
It was
why?
his second loss from his.
Is that why he randomly
mother.
has
Was his mother before?
his mother's
Shmi.
before?
Was it in 3 or 2? His mother dying.
His mother died in 2,
2.
2.
Beginning.
So that was his second loss.
and then he slaughtered all the sand people.
Yeah, so that was his second loss, and he really flipped.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
he's
so-
a psycho.
So, and that's why he's. Did she die of natural causes? Was it a
I
fight?
think she was murdered.
It was Order 66 then. It
It was probably.
But no, if it was Order 66, it would have happened after he would have been turned to the dark side.
That's kind of
This,
true.
this
Yeah,
is
you're
one
right.
of the things. I know someone. It's in one of the books. I gotta do some research to see where she died. But I know that's one of the reasons he actually got more darker.
When you find that, let me know, because I want to read that.
That sounds probably like a really cool story, actually. But again, that whole cartoon series,
That's
in
not
between,
canon.
it's not canon. So
Now let's. How
never
many
was.
Star Wars games are there out there?
it's a lot.
There's
And-
so many.
There's a new one coming out for iPhone too.
What was the
Nobody cares.
What was the name of the? It was the Bounty Hunter one that they canned?
1313?
Yes, they canned that one, and that was supposed to be one of the greatest.
What about
let's see.
actual
All
Star
time.
Wars Bounty Hunter, which came out like right after Episode 1?
Let's see
And that
here.
was I had it for GameCube.
Just
you were
look on
Jango
Steam.
Fett.
Look
It's
on
one of
Steam.
the best games ever.
Series titles: X-Wing, Rebel Assault, Jedi Knight, Rogue Squadron, Racer, Galactic Battleground, Starfighter, Galaxies, Knights of the Old Republic, Battlefront,
Battlefront.
Lego Star Wars, Empire at War, The Force Unleashed, The Force Unleashed 2, Star Wars Pinball, of all things, is fucking listed here.
Star Wars Battlegrounds. That was good. That's
a
Warcraft
plethora,
style?
yeah, and a plethora of Flash games on the Star Wars website.
Right. There's a shitload.
There's a shit ton.
That never happened.
There's cameos and all that stuff.
If it doesn't affect the story of the movies, they don't give a shit about it. That's how
Also-
it's pretty much always been anyway.
Also, if we're talking about game and episode related titles itself, The New Hope has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 8 games in that series of things. Each one of them.
We had for the Nintendo 64.
Star Wars, Arcade, Atari 2600, 5200, Commodore 64,
Every
Atari
platform.
8-bit. Every platform it was on.
Mm-hmm.
There are tons of them. But it doesn't matter because there's so many of them that it would be impossible to make them canon. Which is why
There's a lot
they're
of
saying.
contradicting stories in the books anyway.
Exactly.
That's why I'm saying it's not that big a deal.
So
Jedi.
Okay, here's a bigger question. What stops Disney from doing that to Marvel?
Do you
Stan
realize
Lee.
how?
Who says they won't?
Who says they
Stan
won't?
Lee
And
has very
Stan
little
Lee.
say. He sold his company.
Yeah,
Hey,
he
it's
has
rolling
more,
in his money. He probably could
He has as much say as George Lucas has.
He has more say than George Lucas in this.
You think so?
Honestly,
I don't think he does.
it's freaking Stan Lee. He's the only one of those people who have actually put himself in his goddamn cartoon. Excuse my language, Dan. I'm sorry.
So, honestly, what would stop them from doing the same thing to
Nothing.
nothing?
It's a simple answer.
There's
All
nothing.
those comic books. God,
Nothing would
they
stop.
Don't. They're no longer a part of. It's not in Avengers.
I can't believe you're bringing up Marvel though, because fucking
It's owned by Disney.
Doctor Octopus killed Spider-Man and was Spider-Man for like 15 comic books.
No,
Yeah.
but it's not in the movie, so I'm sorry, it never happened.
The movies,
Exactly.
by the way, are atrocious, no matter if they're canon or not. They're
And it doesn't
absolutely
matter.
awful.
It stopped being canon once they said Amazing Spider-Man is the thing because Tobey Maguire quit on him.
That's why
I think
sorry.
me and Hal are the only ones that are animated enough about this. What the fuck? Nobody else is up in arms? Dan,
No.
Nalgag.
I mean,
give a fuck.
maybe Dan agrees. Delegate don't give a shit.
As long as you don't touch Thor, we're all good.
As long as you don't touch Thor, Loki, or Odin, he's fine.
What'd you
That's
say
his-
about Thor?
That's his brother and his dad.
What'd you say about Thor? I bet you hit it. I swear to my mom.
So fine then. We've viewed our opinions on it. Dan, what do you think? You're the integral part of this.
I can understand the reasoning behind most of it, because if you look into, like, let's just toss out everything we know. WoW. Think of all the fun that they had to do just to figure out an expansion, what characters are, how to say how the characters got in there. And
We're
whatnot.
going back in time.
No, I'm talking about like Mr. Pandera.
I know.
And then it's just, okay, can we do this? No, because in page 57 of somebody goes to somewhere.
Ernest goes to school.
Yes,
Ernest
this happened. So if this happened, we can't have that happening, sort of thing. So, and especially with a world as immersed as Star Wars. I mean, there's at least one post trilogy of books out there that talks about what happens after Return of the Jedi. There's that one with Grand Admiral Thrawn, made by Timothy Zahn, I think is his name. Yeah, which
on.
I've read was kind of this is out a little bit out in left field, but it's a story. It developed the characters, developed the characters more and whatnot, and it's just so hard to match something coming up with all that stuff that has been made. So I can understand why they said, okay, this is non-canon. That way, all that Disney has to focus on is telling a story, and then it's going to be a matter of, to the fans, is the story good enough for me to spend however much it is for a movie ticket to go out there and see? And that's where I'm kind of, because,
So what I'm hearing is it's 4 against 1, Toray loses?
Well, I could understand anything that happens from the present, from after, Darth Vader dies to the future. From that point up. But anything that's in the past that already has happened...
They shouldn't mess with
But
it, is what you're saying.
if you're up in arms about the game, you're talking about the game specifically, do the games lead in to any of the movies? That's the thing. We gotta figure out here.
Not really, because...
They don't.
There's absolutely no
the thing
link
is,
story-wise other than they say... like what did they say when Old Republic came out? It's set 3,000 years or something before Vader. That just to give you an idea that they've put it so far away from what you're used to, they can do whatever they want and you won't know the difference. That's why they do that. They don't say, oh, this is just before. It wasn't like Galaxies. Star Wars Galaxies, they told you specifically this takes place between A New Hope and Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like
the
they told you
remnants
that's when it happens.
Things happening, yeah.
So the only thing I'm worried about is, and I'm going to toss this out there, is Power Rangers.
Yeah. They went nuts too.
When Disney took over Power Rangers,
They did.
and I saw the end product, that's when I stopped watching.
What was happening? Mickey was transforming into a robot?
No,
Mickey, Sora, and Riku from Kingdom Hearts decided to jump into the Power Rangers universe, and Sora was a pimp for some reason, and he became the Pimp Ranger. He kept his pimp hand strong.
Slap, slap, slap.
His pimp hand had abs.
Slap, slap.
Well, the thing I didn't like about it was just too, and granted it was a kid's show, but this was like going to like pre-kindergarten level with the jokes and whatnot, and the CGI guinea pig and all that. It just got so ridiculous that I just lost interest during what I call the Disney genre of Power Rangers.
So like when you say I'm sorry.
What series did they turn over? Did they do?
I can't
Wild
remember.
Force, I think, was the
Wild
original
Force
series.
But when you say jokes upon kindergarten level or pre-K, is it like, oh no, the hamster's in the street? I hope they don't ham anything up, and then it freezes on their face.
No, I'm talking about one of the.
Everything was just very cheesy.
I'm talking about one of the Rangers who flies in a little bird Zord saying, "Haven't you heard? The bird's the word, man."
The bird is the word, yes.
I mean, I face palmed when I heard that, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, can this get any worse?"
Oh my god, I watched that episode. Yeah, she's like, "Haven't you heard? The bird is the word," and then, it's so
yeah. So
that's cringeworthy.
It is cringeworthy.
Disney's
why the
got
hell
a
were any
lot.
of you watching Power Rangers anyway?
Because it's a cool series and Tojo Sentai, okay?
Because Amy Jo Johnson was hot.
Well, no kidding.
True.
I knew that before I even knew what hot meant.
I saw
No,
the first
she's
season.
still hot.
First season of Power Rangers. That was it.
Nothing can top
Yeah,
Kimberly.
same.
Nothing can
That's
top
her, Amy
Kimberly.
Jo
Oh
Johnson.
yes.
But,
You.
That's the only thing I'm worried about. I mean, I don't understand why all of it. I mean, I can understand some of the more recent stuff because it's sort of it sort of intermingles and whatnot. But like SWTOR, it's so far back. There's so much that can happen and change and whatnot that there's no reason you can't make at least some of the history that happens.
There's
canon.
tons of space.
And there's, the
space.
story of Riven. There's another thing that was so far back it doesn't really matter.
Revan was even far back for SWTOR's time period. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Because Revan was old when SWTOR was young.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, but
He was thought to be dead.
I think that Lucasfilm probably did it so that yeah, if
It
Disney
can't ruin the movies, if
it-
anything.
So they just left the history. You know how badass a KOTOR movie would be?
You know how much it would cost
But
and how little interest anyone involved would have.
I would-
We would love it. We would.
honestly-
making the game.
Everyone else would not.
I think a lot of people, you'd be surprised how many like real Star Wars fans are there that only the little kids that are out now that don't have no idea, that never watch. Anyone who's watched the Star Wars movies, the original ones, episode 4, 5, and 6, would know about KOTOR. It's the younger kids that watch 1, 2, and 3 that wouldn't understand it.
Yeah. Well, I was in that I caught the end of it where I was pretty young to see the original ones. It's not like I wasn't there in the 80s to watch it, but I watched them as a kid. And then the new ones came out right around the same time that I should have been into it. You know what I mean? Like, what year did that come out? What, 99 was episode 1 or something?
Something like that.
I was only 10 years old. I should have been all about it, right? But I wasn't. I didn't really like those ones. I still like the other ones. So I don't know how that... I guess I got lucky with it, and I wasn't one of those normal little douchebag kids.
I was around when Han shot first. Yeah, I said it. Han shot first.
Anybody who knows anything knows that Han shot first.
I have the tape.
I don't have the tape, but...
I have the tape.
1983?
That was
What?
not the first.
That was like the
I'm not
first...
talking, we're talking about episode 1. When did episode 1 came out? I'm
Oh,
fairly sure it was
episode
99.
1, it was 99.
When did episode 4 come out? It wasn't 83.
74.
Episode
74, yeah.
74. That was the year I was born.
That's when the game came out, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
But it was like 1999, like when Phantom Menace came out. Terrible movie.
Well, at least we can all agree that Star Wars did change actual history, because that movie franchise created a whole.
Everything that was written
things.
after that was based on that universe.
Because all we had before that was Star Trek. Did we have Star Trek at that time? Or was it Star Trek after Star Wars?
Star Trek was there. 70s.
Star Trek was there when the world was young. It was
Captain
old.
Kirk.
Young and stupid.
Captain Kirk
Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
having
USS
sex with every alien
Enterprise.
chick there was.
Yeah.
You gotta get that ATVD, man. Go ahead, man. Jeez.
Star Trek, the original series, was 66 through 69.
So it predated Star
69.
Wars.
Yeah.
Not by much.
Predated Star Wars, but not much. Anyway, I think, yes, it's a tragedy that some of these things are considered non-canon now. And yes, they're extra parts of the story. But in the overall scheme of things, if it does not affect the movies, it does not affect the timeline that we're actually arguing about.
Right.
It doesn't.
I'm a lore guy, and to me, it's a big hit.
It's a big hit, yeah, but it
They
could
did
have
it
been
for their
worse.
own. I feel like they did it for their own sake, where they said, you know what, these Disney people, they're gonna take every old book that we have and try and make money off of it. Let's just say that it doesn't count.
You do realize that when you're making a movie on a book series, that either way, it has to be at least 30 to 40 years between it for it to actually be made. So it's really not going to change a whole lot of things in the grand scheme of things. They can still reference things. It's just not canon.
Like I said before, my biggest concern is if they did it to Star Wars, what stops them from doing it to Marvel?
But why does it
Nothing.
matter?
That's the answer. Nothing will stop them. They will probably
Nothing
do whatever
stops
they
them.
want.
But why
Disney
does it
is
matter?
an evil enterprise.
Well, one thing you have to realize is, Marvel has had to reinvent itself, so many
15
times
yeah.
to just to keep up with the times. There's like that's why there's like 3 different story versions of each superhero. It's like
the
if
Hulk. There's 2 different Hulks.
it's
You know
just
what I mean?
they had to
Yeah.
do it in order to be able to stay with the times and be current and whatnot. So it's like
Hey,
I remember.
I don't
I
want
think
to live in a
Spider-Man
world.
sucks anyway.
I don't want to live in a world where
Sucks.
Peter Parker doesn't have cartridges on his hands to activate his spider powers that he got bitten for.
He's super strong and agile and can stick to the walls and shit because of the hairs on his fingers, but the webs was his own doing.
Yeah.
But this is kind of a
And
little
Gwen
off.
Stacy dies.
Oh, we all knew
Spoilers!
that. But
Spoilers!
this
Yeah,
is
for
this is
40
a
years
little
ago.
this is a,
Dumbledore dies, dude.
this is a little off topic, but I want to just ask this question. They're making all these Avengers spin-offs, right? Like
So they can
had
promote
Captain
the
America.
Avengers movie.
Right. Now, we know that the Hulk had bad movies. Why don't they actually make a decent one and have, like they did with Captain America,
Because Thor did worse.
Thor? Well, Thor actually was pretty good.
The second one was good. The first
Second
one
was
was
a lot better
dog
than
shit.
the first one.
Yeah.
But there's 2 different ones. I can't remember the first Hulk, but that was atrocious. And then there was the Ed Norton one, which was slightly better.
Well,
Ed
one
Norton
thing you
was
have
the
to
better
reel
one.
about when Lou Ferrigno was the
The
Hulk.
TV show one.
There wasn't that. There wasn't anything such as CGI or anything. They just had to paint somebody green, basically.
They had to
Yeah.
find a bodybuilder and pay him green.
To find somebody who
Exactly.
could get even, at least close enough to the Hulk's stature. And unfortunately, Lou Ferrigno was the only person at the time close enough.
I think we should just paint Toray up as green and let him on street with shirtless.
Can we be the Avengers? Can all of us be the Avengers for Halloween?
Can I be Captain Course?
I want to be Thor.
Gallagher can clearly be Thor.
Because he's got a hammer for a cock, yes.
I would say Doy is
got that.
Captain
I got the hair.
America.
Oh,
I'm going
Captain
with Thor.
America!
I would rock the
before
shit. That's my
serum.
Minecraft.
Before the
Captain
serum.
America.
Before the serum, Captain America.
Yeah, before.
It works!
The army, please.
And guess what? This is all canon on our lore. This is all canon for our lore. Exactly.
So why I gotta be Black Falcon because I'm the dark skinned one?
You're the darkest skin person here.
I'm Captain Latino.
Wait a minute. Dad's already got the purple shorts. Just paint him green.
Yeah, I could be Captain America. He has a Puerto Rican symbol on his chest.
You could be Captain Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Where you
Captain-
throw immigrants at people instead of a shield. It's just immigrants.
I demand Captain America.
Captain American pre-serum, rather.
Pre-serum.
Not post-serum.
I don't want to hurt anybody now.
How about Dan?
I told you, he's got purple shirts on. Get some green paint. Throw it on him.
Let's make Dan Black Widow.
I just want Dan to be Scrooge McDuck.
No comment.
A pile of gold looks neat, but it's hard as concrete.
Yeah, before we get super copyright.
Yeah.
Super copyright.
Well, there's absolutely no music.
Exactly.
I can sing whatever I want.
We can, as long as we beatbox the music, it's like.
Jesus. This is getting way worse.
We haven't seen each other in forever, Doyo, so we're getting all
I
this stuff
know.
out.
You goof around too much. You kids screw around too much.
You kids, get back in the fly.
So yeah, Gwen Stacy dies, by the way.
Yeah.
Snape kills Dumbledore.
Alright, so let's wrap this one up.
I'm sorry.
Bring out the finger.
I'm giving you the finger. Look, guys! Balls!
Balls!
Balls! You've got mail, Dan.
So is that it?
Alright, guys, this is wrapping it up. for
I
this
think
week's
we already
Cawfee
wrapped
Talk.
it up.
Until next one, Hal, Nal, Doy, and Dan. Peace out. Later. These nuts.
Are they black and salty?